and that was the state anthem of Kedah. I'm playing this because I'm taking it to the Sungai Batu archaeological site, the oldest civilization in Southeast Asia located in Kedah. Cheers! In my last video, we visited the Bujang Valley, which was the site of an ancient Hindu-Buddhist civilization dating back to at least the 2nd to the 14th century Common Era. In this video today, we are going to visit the Sungai Batu archaeological site. This site is located just a 10-minute drive away from Bujang Valley and is one of the oldest archaeological sites in Southeast Asia dating back to the 6th to 8th century before the Common Era. Just to clear up some misconceptions about nomenclature, if you look at the timeline of the years, and we are in year 2022, the term BC means before Christ, or AD means it's Anno Domini in Latin, means year of the Lord. These are all Christian terms devised by the Gregorian calendar. Nowadays, to make it more religiously appropriate or non-judgmental, we are switching to the term BCE, before the Common Era, or CE, Common Era. So in other words, BC, before Christ in those days, is equivalent to BCE nowadays, before the Common Era, and AD or Anno Domini is equivalent to Common Era. Cheers! In 2007, the National Heritage Department asked University Science Malaysia USM to pursue research on Kedah Tua, and this led to the discovery of the Sungai Batu civilization site. Out of the 97 sites discovered, 52 sites have been excavated and has revealed this important information. They have discovered ritual monuments, old jetties and ports, some administration buildings for the port, and some iron smelting sites. Archaeological research has shown that the timeline of these monuments date back right up to 788 BCE. If you look at this chart on World Civilizations timeline, you can see that the Sungai Batu civilization came into existence in 788 BC, even well before Machu Picchu, Borobudur, and even Angkor Wat. Borobudur came into existence in the 9th century, Angkor Wat in the 12th century, and Machu Picchu only in the 15th century Common Era. In that time, sea levels were higher and water levels reached right up to the Sungai Batu ancient civilizations. This meant that large ships could travel from India and China and berth right up at the Sungai Batu civilization site. The sea waters reached right up to Gunung Jerai, and the rivers were wide to enable these large ships to go up the river. Excavations at the site have unearthed a ritual monument dated 110 year Common Era, remnants of an old jetty dated 582 BC, administrative buildings for the port dated 487 BC, which has not been excavated yet, and also finally a lot of iron smelting sites, the earliest being ones dated 788 BC. This is a schematic view of the archaeological finds. Interestingly, only the ritual monument, the jetty, and the iron smelting sites have been excavated so far. The administrative buildings have not been excavated yet. Even the old river, which has already been dried up, which contains shipwrecks, has not been excavated or examined yet. The ritual monument found here, as located in Site A, was built to face directly towards Mount Jerai. This was because the people at the time believed in animism, the belief that objects, places, and creatures all possess spiritual essence. Hence, the ritual stone was built facing Mount Jerai as part of the religious worship. The Sungai Batu civilization site occurs on both sides of Jalan Pintasan Sembeling. So for the first part of our trip, we'll visit the monuments on the north side of this road. The authorities have put up some good signages now, so you cannot miss the Sungai Batu civilization site. You see here the sign says Sungai Batu, Tamadun tertua di Asia Tenggara, meaning the oldest civilization in Southeast Asia. So Jack and I have arrived at the first site of the Sungai Batu Archaeological civilization site, and there is a big banner from USM explaining details about the history which Jack is going through. Then we'll go in to have a look at the site itself. This banner here laid out by USM explains in detail about the research, the scale of the research, and what evidence has been found regarding this ancient site here. The first monument is actually remnants of an iron smelting site. Now iron cannot be easily molded or broken, thus it needs to be melted down before it can be shaped. The melting point for iron is 1200 degrees Celsius. In order to reach such a high temperature to melt the iron, a furnace with a blower is needed. And sure enough, large remnants of furnaces and blowers were found at this site. The next building here is actually a ritual monument. This ritual site adds to the mystery of the complex. The base of this ritual monument is circular in shape, which is unlike the square shape of Hindu-Buddhist cultures found in the other areas of the Bujang Valley. This has led researchers to believe that the circular base was built in the year 110 Common Era, when the religious belief was actually animism, and 500 years later, when the people were influenced by the Hindu-Buddhist culture, then the square-shaped stupa was built on top of the circular structure. So excavations here have shown a sophisticated society able to extract iron ore, build factories to produce iron ingots, organize agricultural activities to sustain the workers, and conduct trade with other countries. According to the sign posted here, this was actually the remnants of an old jetty. According to Professor Mokhtar Saidi, head researcher from USM, evidence here suggests that there was a port here and there was a jetty which used to transport and export goods. Because Sungai Batu was a large river in those days, 100 meters wide and 30 meters deep. Now it's just a mere trickle of water. And special scanners have unearthed that actually 5 shipwrecks here which need excavation. They're buried 10 meters deep into the ground. The first shipwreck was detected in the year 2011, and what the researchers now are lacking is in the form of cash, money, because it will take at least 1 million ringgit to excavate each ship, and there are at least 5 ships buried deep here in this area. The Sungai Batu site has been gazetted as a Natural Heritage Area in 2012, as mentioned in the plug over here. In the second part of our trip, we are now heading southwards of Jalan Pintasan Sembeling to visit some iron smelting sites located over here. Now, this is another iron smelting site found on the south side of Jalan Pintasan Sembeling. Many remnants of furnaces and tuyas were found here. Tuyas comes from the French word meaning mouth of a pipe. You can see in this video demonstration how air is blown into the furnace via tuyas to increase the combustion temperature of the furnace. Excavations carried out here also found many remnants of iron waste, iron ore, iron tools and furnaces. Now this is the remnant of one such furnace found, which is used to produce the high heat needed to melt the iron. How is a furnace used? First, all materials for the iron smelting is filled through the furnace's opening. Materials are stacked in 3 layers. Each layer consists of tin ore, lime and sand. Then air is compressed with an iron rod through the tuya to maintain the temperature of the furnace at more than 1200 degrees Celsius. The This mixture of iron ore, sand and lime is heated at a temperature of more than 1200 degrees Celsius for over 8 hours. This smelted iron in liquid form will now flow through the furnace's funnel. Finally, the smelted iron is hammered into small pieces and exported in the form of ingots. Kedah was known as Kataha or Kadaram in the Tamil language, Chicha from the Chinese continent, Kedah from Europe, and was called Kala from the Arab continent. As seen here, the iron ingots produced by Kedah Tua was supposed to be among the best in the world and was used to make Arabic and Indian swords and also chariots. Archaeological research has shown that the iron produced by Kedah Tua was of the best quality, and one ingot could make a sword of 25 centimeters in length. However, no finished products like swords, etc. were found at the Kedah Tua archaeological sites, leading researchers to believe that all these ingots were exported to different countries for them to process it. These are some of the artifacts found on excavation at the archaeological site here. Saiful, the security guard, was very useful, giving us some useful information about the history here. You nama apa?
Saiful.
Saiful lah. You belajar bagus saya tahu sikit-sikit.
Sikit-sikit aja.
Okay. Present data has proven that the ancient society of Sungai Batu had somehow mastered pyrotechnology to the extent of having a full-fledged iron industry. Such technology has defined the very character of the Kedah Tua civilization, a society with an economic substructure based on iron production. In order to produce and export these commodities, brick wharfs were built on both banks of the ancient river of Sungai Batu. The discovery of administrative buildings suggests a large volume of trade which requires a complex governing system. In short, this clearly portrays the uniqueness of the Kedah Tua civilization. The Sungai Batu civilization has revealed the evidence of an economic-based civilization stemming from an iron industry that engaged in activities ranging from mining to trading. And this civilization was in existence almost 2000 years ago, from the 6th to 8th century before the Common Era. So Jack, how was the trip to the Sungai Batu archaeological site?
It's very cool because I've only seen it in my sejarah book.
Would you like to go there again?
Yeah,
What do you learn about it?
I learned that the stuff is actually real.
And do you enjoy your trip?
Yeah.
Cheers! We did not have to go back 61 million years to see the dinosaurs. All I took you back was to the 8th century BCE to see the oldest archaeological site in Southeast Asia. Cheers!